Hey guys, if you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Zoe, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my experience getting into LSU and just everything that I went through. This was a requested video, so here it is. I'm sorry it took so long. I didn't want to post these past couple weeks just because I felt like there was so much happening in the world that it wasn't necessary to post at the time, and I just felt like it would be insensitive for me to post. So yeah, but I hope everyone is staying safe and just continuing to use their voices and to speak up about matters that they believe in. So yeah, but do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also make sure you guys hit the bell to get notified every time I post a new video. Missing someone. I am going to split this video into two parts. So in this first video, I'm going to be talking about from the time that I applied to college and then to the time that I graduated high school. So that'll just be like the application process, everything that I had to turn in, all that good stuff. And then the second video will be a part 2, obviously. So yeah, I'm going to stop rambling and get on with the video. The first thing I want to say is do not stress. Do not don't overthink things. It's a process. It's going to take time. It's time consuming. Don't stress, just be patient. And that's something that I'm probably going to stress throughout this entire video. But I understand, it is a stressful process and it is a stressful time. So yeah, the first thing is I applied to LSU in late September, early October, around in that time frame. I initially applied for early admissions decision, but that didn't happen, and I'll explain why a little bit later. So yeah, I also applied to Georgia State and UGA at the same time through a website called Common App. For those of you who don't know what Common App is, it's a place where you can apply to multiple different schools at one time, basically. And all you have to do, you go in, I can't remember exactly, but I know that you go in, you fill out your initial information, and that is a lengthy process. So if you are gonna go through Common App, I highly recommend you do it as soon as possible. And yeah, because that does take time. After you fill out all of that initial information, you can add your colleges to your portfolio, and then instead of filling all that information out over again, Common App will save the initial information that you already filled out, and then all the information that you need to fill out for the schools will be there. Not every university or school is on Common App, but there is a great number of them on there. So if that's something you want to do, I will try and leave it linked somewhere, or just show you the name. If you want to just go Google it, that's fine too. I also applied to schools through Georgia Futures, because I live in Georgia, obviously. But it may be different for, it's probably different for every state, something that you can go through to apply for schools. And I also just applied to schools through the school website. So yeah, I got my acceptance back from Georgia State first in January. I was actually cheering at a basketball game, and during a break I looked at my phone and I saw that I had a Georgia State update on my admissions, and I had been accepted. I also stressed so much because I thought that I wasn't going to get accepted into LSU, because I thought that if I waited any longer, it would have been too late. Completely not true. That is not true at all. So don't do the same thing that I did. I actually enrolled in Georgia State, and a couple days later, I ended up getting an acceptance from LSU, but I'll get into that. At the same time that I got my Georgia State acceptance, LSU contacted me they sent me an email, and it was a request for additional information. And I thought that meant I don't know what was going through my mind at the time. I just know that it stressed me out because I was like, they're not going to accept me. And that was not the case at all. I was very close to not filling it out just because I felt discouraged almost. But do not do that. If LSU or the school you want to get into asks for any information, like additional information than what you have already sent during your initial application, send it. It's in your best interest basically. But it had things on there like upload your resume, a letter of recommendation, your extracurricular activities, things you've done during extracurricular activities, just so many different things like that. So I uploaded it and I sent it in. For a period of time, I contacted LSU to see when I would get my acceptance back, my admissions decision, because I'd seen so many people on like Twitter and Instagram posting their acceptance. And so I was like, okay. But, like I said, don't stress, don't worry. You're going to see other people receive theirs before you or maybe even after you, so you have to definitely stay patient. So on February 13th, I was sitting at home doing homework and I got an email and it said LSU has made a decision about your admissions. And I was like, oh my God. When I opened it, I saw the confetti and I knew I was just like, I'm going to LSU. That's it. I don't know why I ever questioned my ability to get into the school. I don't know. For a period of time, I thought I wasn't good enough compared to other people. But that's another thing I would say. You definitely can't compare yourself to other people. It's all about your path and your journey. And yeah, so in the end, it all worked out and I freaked out for absolutely nothing in the world. Yeah, I got accepted February 13th and I called Georgia State unenrolled and then I enrolled into LSU. Yeah. After I got accepted, we told everybody. My friends and family knew, people from school knew, the boys at football knew, the coaches knew, everybody knew really, because everyone knew that I wanted to get into LSU. And I had so much support at school, football, my teachers and everything, my coaches. So everyone was supporting me from day one, and I would say that definitely helped me because, while you're on this journey, I had so many people just asking me questions about the admissions process and what is it like, what do you do? It was really special to have the amount of support that I did. So yeah, so basically the enrollment process, you have to fill out a bunch of different documents and forms, all that good stuff. Basically, you get a checklist from LSU. They'll give you a checklist of everything that you have to fill out before you register for orientation, which I will talk about in the next video. But yeah, so they give you a checklist and you have to complete one thing before you go on to the other. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But yeah, so that's what that is like. We did a housing contract where you pick where you wanted to stay. I stayed in Cyprus. For those of you who don't know, I also have a dorm tour of what my dorm looked like in Cyprus. So if you want to see that, I will leave it somewhere. Okay. There's a difference between your housing that you put. So you have your traditional housing, which is where everyone stays. It doesn't matter what major you're in. Anybody can stay there. Residential housing is for your schools. So the School of Human Sciences and Education, or the College of Human Sciences and Education. One of those, I can't remember, I get confused. But I'm a sport management major, so it's under Human Sciences and Education. And so basically a bunch of people from that college stay in the same residential dorm, and it's because you're kind of in the same major, around the same school sort of thing. So you're around people that have the same similar courses as you. And it's cool to form study groups. You'll see people in your residential housing in some of your classes as well, because some of them are called cohort, which just means that there are people from where like your residential housing. So that was pretty cool. There's also apartments on campus, but that's for upperclassmen. So yeah. The next thing that I filled out was the roommate match. And basically there's just this system they have where you put in a bunch of information about yourself and they'll match you with a roommate. And I matched with my roommate, and we also have suite mates. So what that means is you have two people that live on one side, there's a shared bathroom, and then you have two people that live on the other side. So it was four of us sharing a bathroom. Yes, you fill out your housing contract, your roommate agreement, or your roommate match. Vaccinations was also something that we had to send in. It was just a document of saying that you got all your vaccinations before you come to school. Yeah, that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and please stay tuned for part 2.